Good afternoon one and all. I am Sujata Dowri, working as Assistant Professor in SGM College Karad. I think this is my 4th or 5th lecture of linear programming problem. So in this linear programming problem, in first to 4th lecture we will see what is linear programming problem, then how we formulate the problem, then we will see some terminologies which are required while solving this problem, that is what is slack variable, what is surplus variable, then what is standard form, what is canonical form, how we convert general LPP to standard form or general LPP to linear, general LPP to canonical form. Okay, and next after this we will see some terminologies or some definitions which will used while solving this linear programming problem. Now and also we will see there are 3 methods of solving the LPP. The first method is graphical method, which is used for solving when your objective function or your LPP consists of only 2 variables, then we will use this method, that is graphical method. Okay, and when our problem, and the second method is simplex method, which we will see in this lecture. So see, the simplex method is used when all our constraints are of less than or equal to type. That means these are my constraints, isn't it? So if all constraints are of less than or equal to type, then I use the simplex method. And when the constraints are of less than or equal to or greater than or equal to type, then we use big M method, big M method. Okay. So let me have the method which we study in this lecture is simplex method. So actually my teaching methodology is, I cannot explain you all the steps in simplex method only by orally, but we will see after solving the problem. That means over here you will see the problem is on the board. I will teach you with the help of problem, and I will explain also the steps of simplex method. Okay, so my problem is over here, maximize z, and the objective function is given to you, subject to constraint. This is my first constraint, which is of less than or equal to type. My second constraint, it is also less than or equal to type, and my third constraint, it is also less than or equal to type. All my variables are restricted in sign. That means they are greater than or equal to 0. This is my non-negative restriction. Okay. So now how we solve this? See, the first step is check whether your objective function is maximization type. If it is not, if my objective function is minimization type, then we multiply the objective function by -1 so that it is converted to minimization to maximization type. Over here my objective function is of maximization type only. Okay, so I can use this objective function as it is. So this is my objective function, original objective function. Okay, so now I convert this inequality, that is constraint, into equality type by adding or subtracting surplus and slack variables. Okay, since over here I have all the constraints are of less than or equal to type, I compulsorily add slack variable. Okay, so that means in the first constraint, my constraint is x1 plus 3x2 plus x4 plus s1, that is my first slack variable, is equal to 4. Only difference is I can add one quantity which is positive quantity, so that my equation, which is of less than or equal to type, will be converted to equality type. Okay, so that is my first equation. Now see, over here since over here I add plus s1, there is no any restriction related to what is the coefficient of s1. Over here my coefficient of s1 is 1 only. But while constructing objective function of these s1, s2, s3, that is basic variables. These variables are called as basic variables, which we include to convert my inequality to equality. So s1 is my basic variable, and the given variables are these are non-basic variable. Okay, so the in the objective function. So I can add in the objective function, I can add plus 0 s1. That is, cost of this s1 is strictly 0. This is the cost related to x1. This is the cost related to x2. This is the cost related to x3, which is 1 unit cost. Okay, and this is also the cost of x4, which is 1. Fine. So again, for the next equation, my equation is 2x2 plus 2x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 3. Now I can add another slack variable s2, not s1. Okay. In the next variable, I can add the in the next equation, I can add the next variable. So 2x1 plus x2 plus s2 is equal to 3. That is my second equation. Now for the third equation, I have x2 plus 4x3 plus x4 plus s3 is equal to 3. That is my third equation or third inequality to be converted to equality form. Now over here x z is greater than or equal to 0, z taking the values 1, 2, 3 and 4, and sj is also greater than or equal to 0, and z takes value 1, 2, 3 because I have added only 3 slack variables s1, s2 and s3 with the unit cost as 0. So 0 s1, 0 s2, 0 s3. Okay. So that is my problem. Okay, which is converted problem to solve the LPP. Now, see, now by using this problem, I can construct the matrix form of this problem. So how we will construct the matrix form? So let me write matrix form of LPP. To write the values in this table, which is already done in board. Okay, so over here the cost matrix, which is a C, it is a row matrix 2, 4, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. So 2 is the cost related to variable x1. Okay, 4 is the cost related to variable x2. So I can write over here C 2, 4, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so that is my C. Now what about A? A is the coefficient matrix of all the variables in the constraint. Okay, so for the first equation, I have value of x1 as 1. So write over here 1. For the value x2, it is 3. Then third variable is absent over here, so I can write third variable as 0. We cannot write 4 in place of x3. Okay, in place of x4 only I can write the value, that is 1. Fine. Then s1 has value 1. So is it the end of the equation? No, since I have 2 more variables, s2 and s3. But these 2 variables are absent in my equation 1. Okay, so it will be 0, 0. Getting it? Okay, now, so what about second equation now? In second equation, I have 2x1, then 1x2 plus s2. So all these variables takes value 0, 1 and 0. Now in the last equation, x1 is 0, x2 is 1, x3 is 4, x4 is 1 and s3 is 1 now over here. Okay, so that is my A. C already I have wrote over here. Okay, now B, the variable B. So B, the variable, now B can be written, B is the values for my constraints, equation values, that is 4, 3, 3. This is my values of BIs. Okay, and what about X? X takes, X is equal to x1, x2, x3, x4, s1, s2 and s3. Fine. So that is my, okay. So I have these values or matrix form of my linear programming problem. Okay, actually the converted problem, that is standard linear programming problem. It is not general, but I can convert, since I converted my equation to equality type, that means it is a standard linear programming problem. Okay. Now let me find IBFS. So the first step what we have, that is we can convert my problem. If the problem is of minimization type, we convert it to maximization. Okay. Now the next step is we convert my all inequalities to equality by adding slack variable over here. Okay. Now the next step is check whether your all BIs are strictly positive. Check whether your all BIs are strictly positive. Yes, I have. All BIs are positive. Okay. Now the next step is we can write the matrix form of this equation. This is my first step. Now in the next step I can find IBFS. So what is IBFS? Initial basic feasible solution. Initial basic feasible solution, that is IBFS. Okay. So what is the formula for finding IBFS? The formula for finding IBFS is XB is equal to B inverse into D. Okay. So I have the value of B as well as XB. What about B inverse? B inverse is also with me. See, XB means basic variables. I just now told you. So which are the basic variables? Yes. Which are the basic variables? These three are my basic variables: S1, S2, S3. So XB is S1, S2, S3. Okay. Now what about B inverse? I have the value of B inverse. So B inverse is nothing but a coefficient matrix in A for these corresponding variables. Coefficient matrix in A for these corresponding variables. So S1, S2, S3. So this is my S1, this is my S2, this is my S3. Suppose I need to write. Suppose you can't get the values, then I need to write over here. Suppose. Okay. So 4, 3, 3. So this is my x1, this is my x2, this is x3, x4. Then S1, S2 and S3. Okay. So this is my column for S1, column for S2, column for S3. So my B inverse is 1, 0, 0. It is an identity matrix. You observe in all the cases B inverse is my identity matrix always. Okay. And what would be? I have the value of B as 4, 3, 3. So after solving this equation, I can get the values of S1 as, see, S1 is 4, S2, that is this value. So I can have second equation 3 and S3 is again 3. So this is my initial basic feasible solution which will be used for further method or further iterative procedure of linear programming problem. Now let me have this table. So in this table what I write? Cj. Cj means the values of cost. So what is the values of cost? 2, 4, 1, 1. So now we will fill the table. Okay. So 2, 4, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. So see, value of x1 is 2, value of x2 is 4 in this manner. Now I can put all this matrix A over here. That is x1, x2, x3, x4, x1, x2, x3. So write the values. So 1, 2, I have 0. Then next will be 3, 1, 1. Then I have 0, 0, 4. Then I have value for x4 is 1, 0, 1. 1, 0, 1. And then identity matrix, that is 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. 0 and 0, 0, 1. So write the values. Okay. Fine? Okay. Fine. Now write the values of xb's over here. So which are the values of xb? S1, S2, S3. S1, S2, S3. Okay. What about CB? That is cost related to basic variable. Cost related to basic variable. So what is the cost related to basic variable? It is a 0, 0, 0. Sorry, I can write basic variables over here, and over here I can write the S1, S2, S3, that is the solution of this basic variable. So solution, that is 4, 3, 3. So I can write solution over here. So 4, 3, 3. Okay. Getting how we fill the table? Okay. Now let me solve this table. So how we solve this? First of all, we can find the value of Zz. So how I find the value of Zz? The formula for Zz is CBxz. CBxz. So how we calculate it? Now see, I can multiply CD. CD means the values. Okay. CD multiply this to this, so that I get this value. I can multiply this to this, I get this value. So since actually for my table it looks good, hence I can write CB as in this manner. But originally my CB is a row matrix. Okay. Over here I will write it as column matrix. So since row matrix will be multiplied to column matrix. Okay, it will be fine. I can can get only one single value. So multiply 1 to 0 plus 0 to 2 plus 0 to 0. That means I get value as 0. Now next value, again since these all values are 0, it will be multiplied to any value, addition of this is 0. So in first step we get Zj as 0 for each and every value. For each and every value. Okay. Now the next what do I want to find now? Next value is delta z, which is equal to Zj minus Cj. So how we find it? Zj, that means this value is minus Cj. So minus Cj means these are my values of Cj. So subtract it. 0 minus 2, it will be minus 2. 0 minus 4, minus 4. 0 minus 1, minus 1. 0 minus 1, minus 1. 0, 0, 0. 0 minus 0, 0. 0 minus 0, 0. Okay? Fine. Now check whether all these delta j are greater than or equal to 0 for all j. That means I need to check. Check whether all delta j greater than or equal to 0. If not, if any one delta j is less than 0, then check how many values are less than 0. And from these values, I can select the largest possible value for positive value of delta j. For positive value of delta j. Suppose I consider positive value, that is 2, 4, 1, 1. So largest value is 4. So I can select this variable. This variable is now my entering variable. We call this as entering variable. So if any one variable is entered, we must leave one variable so that the entered variable has some space. Okay. So if I entered x2, then who is the living variable? For that purpose, I can calculate these values. That is this one. xbi divided by xir. Okay. So how we calculate it? See, xbi means these values. xbi divided by xir means these values. We can divide these values to this value so that I get the ratio. So for first value, I can have 4 divided by 3. Second value, 3 divided by 1, which is 3. And 3 divided by 1, that is 3. So out of these, now I select smallest possible ratio. Smallest possible ratio. So smallest possible ratio, obviously this is the smallest possible ratio. And corresponding variable, that is my corresponding variable is S1. S1 is the living variable now. Now S1 is my living variable, and who is entered? This will enter. Now I can find the cross section of these two, that is x2 and s1. So cross section is 3. Okay. So this variable, this my variable 3, that is intersection point of entering variable and leaving variable. This variable is called as pivotal quantity or pivotal variable. Pivotal quantity or pivotal variable. Now I convert this pivotal variable to unity by dividing this row to that particular element. So we can divide this whole row from this. I can divide this row by 3 so that this value it becomes 1. Okay. And then remaining values in the column, we should, by using the row transformation, we convert all the values become 0. That is, after having this value 1, if I subtract this value 1 minus 1, it gives me 0. Again 1 minus 1, it gives me 0. Okay. So that is what I need to do in the next step. Okay. Now one more thing is there. I need to calculate the value of z. Z means my objective function. No, over here I doesn't have objective function. But I will calculate this by using this only. Okay. So how you calculate the value of z? See, multiply this value to this. So 0 into 4, that means it is 0. Plus 0 into 3, that means it is 0. And plus 0 into 3, that means it is 0. So z is equal to 0 over here. Okay. So that means the possible value of z for this table. Possible value of z for this table. Now I need to improve my solution. That is, I need to check whether I can improve the solution. So I can convert this pivotal element to 1 and all other remaining variables in the column to 0. Okay. Fine. So now my next next table is, I can write next table over here. Okay. So I can have the table now. Now 1 to 4 minutes. I require 1 to 2 minutes to write the table over here. Okay. So let me have the values as CB, B, XB. Then I have X1, X2, X3, then X4, S1, S2, S3, and this is my ratio. Okay. So Z is 0 over here. Now I have the values as X1. 3 values are there. Then after these 3 values, I have the column for ZZ and I have the last column for. Okay. So this is my table. Now I can write this as it is. That is, no, actually I need one more column, one more row. Not column, but row. Okay. So CB, no, this is my CB. CB, B, XB. Okay. Then X1, X2, X3, X4, S1, S2, S3, and this is my ratio. XBI divided by XIR. Okay. Now what is cost? Cost as it is. It doesn't change. 2, 4, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Now see, the change is over here. I can introduce X2 and I can leave S1. So instead of S1, now I can write over here X2. Okay. X2, then S2 as it is, S3 as it is. Now the cost of S2 and S3, it becomes 0. And what about the cost of X2? The cost of X2 is 4. So we can write the value of CB as 4 over here. Okay. Now what about the values of XB? So I can divide this whole row to 3. So my transformation is R1 divided by 3. Okay. So perform the transformation. That is 4 divided by 3, 1 divided by 3, 1, 0. Then I have, see, I can divide this row to 3. That is 4 divided by 3. Then next will be 1 divided by 3. Okay. Then 3 divided by 3. That is 1. Then 0, 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 0, 0. Okay. I doesn't divide 3 to this. This can be calculated last, at the last time. Okay. Now next, I can now consider this new row. Consider this new row. So R1, or we may have performed this equation R2 minus R1. R2 minus R1. So suppose I perform this equation R2 minus R1. So which are the values of R2 now? The values of R2 are in this table. So I can consider all the values. See, the values of R2, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. So 3, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, and I have one more value, that is 0. Okay. Now I can subtract the value. Which value will be subtracted? Value R1, but R1 is considered from new table. So new table R1 is this. Okay. So 4 minus 3, 1 by 3, then 1 minus 1, then 0 minus 0. Over here 0 minus 1 by 3, 0 minus 1 by 3, 1 minus 0, and 0 minus 0. What it comes? I can find directly. Okay. So 3 minus 4 by 3. So what it is? See, 9 minus 4 by 3. So 9 minus 4 by 3, it is 5 by 3. Okay. So it comes as 5 by 3. Now for this I have 2 into 3, that is 6. 6 minus 1 by 3, it is again 5 by 3. Okay, 1 minus 1 is 0, 0 minus 0 is 0. It is minus 1 by 3, again it is minus 1 by 3. It is 1, and last value is 0. Okay, so I can put this value in my second row. So second row, first value is 5 by 3, next value is 5 by 3, next is 0, 0, minus 1 by 3, minus 1 by 3, next value is what? It is 1, and then next value is 0. Okay, so are you getting the second row of my table? That this is my first table. Okay, then this is my first iteration table. This is my initial simplex table. This is my first iteration simplex table. Okay, fine. So my duster is over here. Now, okay, so this is my second row. Now what about third row? For third row also I can perform the same formula, that is R3 minus R1. So which are the values of R3 now? Write the values of R3 as 3, 0, 1, 4, 1, 1, 4, 1. Then I have 0, 0 and 1. Okay. So subtract the value. Which value will be subtracted? Again it will be new R1. So new R1, that is it is minus 4 by 3 minus 1 by 3. I have 1 minus 1. Then 4 minus 0. I have 1 minus 1 by 3. Then 0 minus 1 by 3. 0 minus 0 and 1 minus 0. So now find the values. So 3 minus 4 by 3, that is 9 minus 4 by 3, it will come as 5 by 3. This is minus 1 by 3, this will be 0, 4, 1 minus 1 by 3, it comes as 2 by 3, minus 1 by 3, then 0 minus 0 is 0 and 1 minus 0 is 1. So now I can write the values, 5 by 3, this value 5 by 3, then minus 1 by 3, then 0. The next value is 4, next value is 2 by 3, next value is minus 1 by 3, next value is 0 and 1. Okay, so this is my iterative table. Now again I can find value of ZZ. I will continue the table still when I can get the value of delta J is greater. All the values are delta J greater than or equal to 0. If not, I will again construct one more table. Okay, so fine. Now I can find value of Z. First of all ZZ. So how I find ZZ? The formula for ZZ is CBXZ. So over here, now see, over here the values of ZZ are 0 for first table only. Now I can get some value of ZZ for second to next tables. Okay. So what is the value? See, I can multiply. See, the two values of CB it becomes 0. So I cannot multiply this row, both the rows, and add it. I can multiply only the first row with first element. So 4 into 1, I get the value as 4 over here for this, and for this I get the value as 4 by 3. Okay, 4. Then 0, it will be 0. 4 into 1 by 3, it will be 4 by 3. Again it will be 4 by 3. 0, 0. Okay, you are get all the values of ZZ. Okay. Now find ZZ minus CZ. You have the values of ZZ and CZ. So 4 by 3 minus 2. What it comes? It will be again negative only. So 4 by 3 minus 2. So 4 minus 6 divided by 3. That means it is, how much it is? 4 minus 6. That means it is minus 2. So minus 2 divided by 3. So first answer is minus 2 divided. Now second answer, 4 minus 4, it becomes 0. Then I have ZZ, that is 0 minus 1. It will be minus 1. Then 4 by 3 minus 1. So 4 by 3 minus 1. So it will become as 4 minus 3 divided by 3. It is 1 by 3. Now 0 minus, 4 by 3 minus 0. So it will be 4 by 3. 0 minus 0, it will be 0. 0 minus 0, it will be 0. Now check the condition. Check whether all delta J are positive. No. I have two delta J's which are less than 0. So now proceed to next step. So how will you proceed to next step? Tell me which condition you are checking. For the positive value of delta Z, select the most positive or most negative value. Maximum positive or most negative? So most negative value. Minus 2 by 3 is lesser or minus 1 is lesser? Which value is lesser? Minus 1 is lesser. Okay. So I can have this value to be selected. And hence I can have the x3, which is the variable which is entered in the basis now. X3 is the variable which is entered in the basis. Now I need to check which variable is leaving variable. So I need to calculate the last ratio column. Now see, in the last calculate these values. Okay. For this, see, all the values are greater than 0, so we will calculate it. Denominator only, I will told you as denominator. Okay, so denominator over here, denominator are 0, 0, 4. Since these two values are 0, I cannot calculate these two values. I can calculate only this value. So this value, I can divide this value to this value. Okay, so what I get? See, 5 by 3 divided by 4. So 5 by 3 divided by 4. That means 5 by 3 into it inverse. So it is 1 by 4, isn't it? So it comes as 5 divided by 12. 5 divided by 12. So I can select this value now. Since I can select the lowest possible value and lowest possible value is this only, so this variable is now living variable. So now S3 will be living variable and which variable is entered in the basis? X3 will be the entering variable. Now again we can move to next table. Okay. So how my table now looks like? So I can calculate. Instead of drawing the table, I can have the values in this table only. Okay. So let me write the table over here. I doesn't remember to calculate the value of z. What is the value of z? Z by multiplying these two values. So 4 into 4 by 3. So it will be 16 by 3. Okay. Now, so I can write the values over here. So see, x2 is as it is. This is as it is. Now instead of s3, I will write x3 and s2 as it is. Okay. So s2 and x3. So can I write the value of CB over here? Yes, I can. Value of x2 is 4. Value of s2 is 0. And what about the value of x3? The value of x3 is 1 over here. Okay. So fine. So xb is nothing but I can have these values. So I can write these values by transforming the equation. Now over here, my pivotal value is 4. So I can divide this row by 4. So R3 by 4. This is my first operation. And the remaining variables, it becomes 0. But still, but over here, since the values are zeros, I cannot change these two rows. I can write these two rows as it is over there. Okay. So values become 4 by 3. Then it will be 5 by 3. Then it will be again 5 by 3. Then I have 1 by 3. Then I have 1. Then 0, 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 0, 0. In the next column I have 5 by 3, 5 by 3, then 0, 0, minus 1 by 3, minus 1 by 3, and I have 1 and 0. Okay. Now for the last row, I can divide this row by 4. So I can divide this row by 4, I get first value is 5 by 12. 5 by 12. Now next value is minus 1 by 3 upon 4. So that means it is minus 1 divided by 12. Over here 0 divided by 4, 0. 4 divided by 4, it will be 1. Then 2 divided by 3 divided by 4, it will be 2 divided by 12. Then minus 1 by 3 divided by 4, it is minus 1 by 12. Then 0. Then 1 by 4. Okay. Now calculate again ZZ. Okay. So I can calculate ZZ. ZZ by using formula CB ABC. So what is CB? These are the values of CB. And these are the values of xj. Okay. So 4 into 1 by 3, it is 4 by 3 plus 0 minus 1 into 1 by 12. So minus 1 divided by 12. What it comes? I will calculate it as 12. 16 minus 1. So it will be 15 by 12. Over here it is 15 by 12. Okay. Now next value. What is the next value? So next value, see, 4 minus 0 minus 0. So it is 4 only. Next will be 4 into 0, 0, 0 into 0, 0, 1 into 1, 1, hence it is 1. Okay. Now next value, check. 4 by 3, 0 and plus 2 by 12. So 4 by 3 plus 2 divided by 12. So what it comes? See, 16 plus 2. So 18 divided by 12. Okay, so I can write over here. 18 divided by 10, 12. Now next value. Again 4 by 3. Then I have 0 and then minus 1 by 12. So 4 by 3 minus 1 divided by 12. So what it comes? We will check. 16 minus 1. That is 15 by 12. First value. It will give the first value. Okay. Now 4 into 0, 0. 0 into 1, 0. 1 into 0, 0. So it gives me 0. Then 4 into 0, 0. 0 into 0, 0. And 1 into 1 by 4. It is 1 by 4. Okay. Fine. Now what about delta z? Delta z is zz minus cz. So 15 divided by 12 minus 2. 15 divided by 12 minus 2. What it comes? 12. 15 minus 24. So minus 24. It comes as after subtracting minus 24, I get minus 9 by 12. So minus 9 by 12. Okay. So I get again negative value. So I must calculate the next table. Okay. So now see. In the next table I have 4. No. Since zz minus cz. So 4 minus 4 it will be 0. 1 minus 1 it will be again 0. 18 by 12. Minus 1. Now I need to calculate it. Minus 1. So it comes as 12. 18 minus 12. 6. 6 by 12. Okay. Now next value. Next value 15 by 12 minus 0. So it is 15 by 12. 0 minus 0. 0. 1 by 4 minus 0. So it will be 1 by 4. Getting the values. Now I need to calculate the which value? Check whether all delta z are greater than or equal to 0. No. I have one delta z which is less than 0. So this is my entering variable. So these variable will be entered. Which variable will be entered? x1. x1 is a variable which will be entered in the list. Now which variable will be leaving? So to leave the variable I need to calculate the ratio. So over here the ratio is C. Check whether all the values are positive. No. One value is negative, so I can write over here dash. I can calculate only two values. So only two values. That means I have, see, 4 by 3 divided by 1 by 3. That means it is only 4. Then 5 by 3 divided by 5 by 3 it is 1. Okay. So these are the values. Now from these I need to find which value is smallest. So smallest value is this, and hence this is my leading variable. So leading variable is S2. From 4, 1 and dash, my smallest value is 1. Hence I need to leave this variable. So which variable is leaving? S2. Okay. Now I need to write again one more table. So actually the name of this method is simplex, but it is not simple method as such. Okay. So the value of z over here is 4 into 1 by 3, that is 4 by 3. 0 minus 1 divided by 12. So how much it is? So 16 minus 1 divided by 15 by 12. So value of z is 15 by 12, which is improved value. See, over here it is 16 by 3. 16 by 3 means it is lesser value, and this is the largest value than this. That is, I can improve my table. Since my z is maximization, I need to find the maximum value of given values of x1, x2, x3. Okay. Now that let me have the next table for this. Okay. What is the next table? So I think this is my last table. Okay. So last table. So let me proceed. So let me in the last table, which variable is entered? This variable is entered, which is leaving s2. So I can have x2, then I have x1, and this is my x3. So corresponding values, the value of x2 is 4, value of x1 is 2, and value of x3 is 1. And the values of xb, now xb will be changed. See, I can write over here my pivotal element is 5 by 3. So I can multiply this row, that is R2 by 3 by 5. Multiply the row by 3 by 5. What I get? So I can have 5 by 3 into 3 by 5. It comes as 1. So this is 1, 1, again 0. 0 multiplied by 3 by 5, 0. 0 multiplied by 3 by 5, 0. Minus 1 by 3 multiplied by 3 by 5. So it is minus 1 by 5. This comes as again minus 1 by 5. This comes as 3 by 5. And this comes as 0. Okay. Now for the next value, that is this value, 1 by 3. Okay, so what I can do now? To convert it to 0. I can convert this value to 0. I can convert this value to 0. So multiply equation R1 by 3. 3R1 minus R2. That is new R2. Okay. So 3R1. Let me write the values of 3R1. So multiply this row by 3. What I get? 4, 1, 3. So I will write over here 4, 1, 3. 4, 1, 3. Then 0. Then it will be 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Then again 0, 0. If I multiply this by 3, I get 0, 0. So 1, 1, 0, 0. So minus new R2 value in the new table. So R2, that is minus 1. It is minus 1. It is 0, 0. Minus minus plus 1 by 5. Minus minus plus 1 by 5. 0 minus 3 by 5 and 0. So 4 minus 1 it is 3. So over here it is 3. 1 minus 1 it is 0. Then 3 minus 1 it will be 3. 0 minus 0, 0. 1 plus 1 by 5. That means it is 6 by 5. 6 by 5. Next value is same. That is 6 by 5. Over here it is minus 3 by 5. Then 0. Fine. Now for the next value. That is this value. I can multiply this row, that is R3 by 12. 12 R3 minus R2. So what it comes? Multiply this row by 12. So what I get? 5. Then multiply this by 12. So minus 1. Then 0. Then 12. Then 2. Then next value is minus 1. Next value is 0. Then 1 by 4 into 12. So it comes as 3. Now see, I can add the value, not subtract. So I can add the value. So which value will be added to this? I can add R2. So R2 is this. So 1, 1, 0, 0. Over here it is. Since the value of variable is negative, I can subtract it. Minus 1 by 5, it will be minus 1 by 5. Then 3 by 5 and 0. What it comes? 5 plus 1 it is 6. Minus 1 plus 1 0. 0, 0, 0. 12 plus 0 is 12. Then 2 minus 1 by 3. 5. It comes as 9. 9 by 5. Then minus 1 by 5. It comes as 6. Minus 6 by 5. Next 3 by 5 and 0. Okay. So, no, actually not 0. It is 3. Sorry. 3 plus 0. Na? So it is 3. Okay. Now, what about ZZ? Over here, I can find the value of ZZ. So CB exact. So CB means 4 into 0, it comes as 0. 2 into 1, it comes as 2. And 1 into 0, it goes. Then 4 into 3, it will be 12. Then 0, 0. Then 0, 0, 12. Okay. Then 6 by 5, I can calculate over here. 6 by 5 into 4, that means it is 24 by 5. Okay. Then minus, I have 2 by 5. I can multiply this value. Okay. And plus 9 by 5. So plus 9 by 5. So what it comes? 24 minus 2 plus 9. So it comes as plus 7. Hence it is 31 by 5. And the value is positive. So 31 by 5. Now next value. So in the next value I can have this value same. 24 by 5. Then this value is also same. Only the change is this. So minus 6 by 5. I can subtract minus 6 by 5 from this. So I can get this as this means 16 by 5. I get this as 16 by 5. Okay, and the last is minus 12 by 5. Then it will be plus 6 by 5 plus 3 by 5. So it comes as 5 minus 12 plus 6 plus 3. So 3 by 5. Okay. So this is 3 by 5 and the last is only 3. Okay. Now Zj minus Cj. So 2 minus 2 it gives me 0. 12 minus 4 it gives me 8. 12 minus 1 it gives me 11. 31 by 5 minus 1. So 31 by 5 minus 1. So what it comes? 31 minus 5 by 5. So it comes as 31 minus 5. That means it is 26. So 26 by 5. Next will be 16 by 5 minus 0. 3 by 5 minus 0. 3 minus 0 to 0. Okay. So check whether all delta z are positive. Yes, all delta z are positive. So what is the solution over here? Now I can calculate z. How I calculate z? By multiplying these two values, that is CB XB. By multiplying CB XB. So 4 into 3 it will be 12 plus 2 into 1 it will be 1 and 1 into, is it 0? No, it doesn't 0. It seems like 0. I will check. No, x3 is actually half. 1 half. Here it is half. So 4 into 3 it is 12 plus 2 into 1 it is 2 plus half. So what it comes? Check. 2, 24 plus 2 plus 1. So 27 by 2. So that is my solution. So how I write now solution? So which is my last step, okay, in the simplex table. So how I write the solution now? I can write the solution. I get the value of x1. See, these are the values. So x1 has value 2, then x2 has value 4, and x3 has value 1, and one more non-basic variable x4. See, non-basic variable. Okay, so that is 0, and the value of z, that is maximum value of z is 27 by 2. So if I put this value in my objective function, I get the same value. Okay, fine. So that is my simple linear simplex method to solve the linear programming problem, which finishes my second method for solving linear programming problem. Thank you.